everyone. Today we are diving deep into the world of behavior analysis. We're going to unpack some key concepts that shape how we understand behavior. So terms like antecedents, behavior, consequences, and more. Whether you're a student or just a curious learner that wants to understand behavior, you've come to the right place. So let's get started. Defining behavior might just sound straightforward, right? It's just basically anything that we do. But if you dig deeper, it's actually a lot more complex than we think. Should we count actions like breathing, blinking, or even our heartbeat as behavior?
Artie, why don't you knock off the bullshit and get to the point?
Behaviorists argue that instead of settling on one definition, it's more useful to look at specific examples. This way we can understand the conditions and the context in which behavior occurs without getting caught up in these rigid definitions. So for now, let's stick to observing real-world examples and drawing insights from what we can see and measure.
But where do we start?
Now let's talk about stimuli and responses. In behavior analysis, a stimulus is an event in the environment, while a response is the behavior that occurs in reaction to that event. We call these stimulus-response correlations. For instance, if you touch a baby's palm, they'll most likely clench their fists. Here, the touch is the stimulus, and the grasping is the response. There are plenty of other examples too, like a sudden loud noise causing a baby to cry, or a flash of light causing us to blink. These are simple cause and effect scenarios, but they form the foundation for understanding behavior. However, it's not always straightforward. For example, the baby might cry to get the mother's attention.
It's okay, baby.
Oh, Stu, we don't have time for this.
This shows us that sometimes behavior comes first, leading to a consequence rather than being directly triggered by a stimulus. Let's take a step further and introduce the concept of the three-term contingency. This is the relationship between the antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence. The antecedent is what occurs before the behavior, setting up the stage for it. The behavior itself is the action taken, where the consequence is what happens as a result. So I want you guys to imagine a pigeon in an experimental chamber. There's a key that lights up, and if the pigeon pecks it, then food appears. Here, the antecedent is the key. The behavior is the pigeon pecking the key, and the consequence is receiving food. However, context matters. If there's an alternative, like getting a larger amount of food by waiting, the pigeon might choose not to peck. This illustrates how behavior is not just about immediate cause and effect, but about understanding the context in which stimuli and responses occur. Now, not all responses are triggered by stimuli. Some responses are considered emitted, meaning they're not directly caused by some obvious external event. Let's think about shifting our attention from one part of a song to another.
I like this song.
Of course you do.
That's considered a behavior even though there isn't a clear external trigger, like a sudden loud noise causing it. This contrasts with elicited responses, which are directly triggered by stimuli, like the flash of light causing a blink. Understanding this difference helps us grasp the complexity of behavior.
It's complicated.
Where some actions happen spontaneously, while others are reactions to something specific in the environment. We can also rank behaviors based on the frequency that they occur. This is known as the behavior hierarchy. Imagine a child with the option to eat, play with toys, or take a bath. If they usually choose to play over eating and rarely volunteer to take a bath, then we can say that playing ranks highest in their behavior hierarchy, followed by eating and then bathing. These hierarchies are dynamic. They can change based on factors like time of day, hunger levels, or previous experiences. For instance, if a child just had a negative experience with bath time, then bathing might drop even lower down the hierarchy. Context plays a big role here. And that's the one thing that I'll mention several times in all of my videos. Context matters. What might be considered an appetitive stimulus at one point, like food, can become an aversive stimulus at another point, like a child being extremely full after a holiday meal.
You want some more pizza?
I'm stuffed.
This changeability is crucial in understanding how behavior is shaped by its circumstances. When analyzing behavior, we need to consider both its structure and function. Structural analysis focuses on physical aspects, like the muscles involved in grasping. Functional analysis, on the other hand, focuses on how behavior impacts the environment and interacts with stimuli. Think about a baby crying when hungry. So structurally, it's just a vocalization, but functionally, it serves to attract the caregiver's attention, which ultimately leads to feeding.
I need to eat.
It's important to note that behavior isn't always about physical movement. Internal processes like shifting our attention or thinking can also be considered as behaviors. Your mental activity is still a form of behavior. So for instance, when we listen to a song and our attention shifts from listening to the lyrics to listening to the instruments playing. The key takeaway here is that behavior encompasses not just actions, but interactions with the environment. Whether it involves movement or not, behavior is defined by its consequences and the opportunity it creates for other actions. To wrap it all up, behavior helps us understand why organisms, from pigeons to humans, do the things that they do. This is the first time that I'm saying this, and I'm gonna cringe really hard, but if you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more upcoming videos. And please just leave a comment or any questions that you have about behavior analysis. I'd be happy to answer them. But yeah, I'll see ya. Bye. Dahlia out. Dooley out.
Please don't do that again. It's my protest.